What's good? What's good? Sending this out to everybody real quick. Give me one sec. Give me 1 second. Just sending out the link to everybody. What's good? What's good, brother? I'm just sending everything out to all the chats real quick. Yeesh. I didn't have time to put this in the chat, but man, price came right back to the buy zone. You're selling at 19,030 for NAS. Yeah, definitely. Like price could sell off right here, 100%. Yeah, if you do like at the fid, yeah, hopefully this loads. I know trade logger is kind of laggy. So for me, if you look at the fib, like you said, from the high to the low, it is around anything above the 50% is always going to be like a zone to make a move in. So if you're looking at sells, you definitely want to be looking anywhere between the 50% and the rest. The reason why I am not really too confident in the sells is because we haven't seen any signs of selling. We haven't seen any type of consolidation where and then we break above and sweep the lows. We haven't given the signal. We're in the sell zone allegedly, looking at this, but we haven't really given the signal, right? And if you zoom out, 'cause a lot of people they just stay like looking right here, right? But if you zoom out, like on the daily, and you see like what price is doing, you have right here, you have a low, and then we have a high, and then we have a higher low, and we don't have a higher high, we have a lower high, okay, but we don't have a lower low, we have a higher low. So this higher low can very well lead us to the next higher high. Because we know in an uptrend is low, high, higher low, higher high, higher low. That's officially an uptrend, right? Even if price drops beneath like four lows like this and still continues, that's still an uptrend. Because technically we didn't break beneath these lows, right? We didn't break beneath these lows here, but we still had a higher high, higher low. Higher, even though we broke beneath several of these lows here, that doesn't mean that we're automatically downtrending. We're still overall in an uptrend. And this is similar to what's happening now with NASDAQ, right in here. And what I was looking at before was, for the buys, we're here. You look at the setup, right? The setup that we look for is consolidation, sweep the lows, break above the highs, and then continue forward. That's for buys, right? And if I put this, like, I put this over here, kind of what happened, literally. It's exactly what happened with Max. And when price came back into the zone, of consolidation, it's been respecting it. It's been respecting it. So to me, this is just nothing more than a continuation up. I know we do have, a slight sell opportunity, right? Consolidation, broke above the highs, broke above the lows, retest, sold off, but we sold off back into the buy zone. Our price has to sell off in order for us to buy, and vice versa. And the fact that we did break above these highs right here, we changed character, right? So we were downtrending. We had a high, low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, and then we finally broke above this area, changing character to the upside, letting us know that price wants to no longer continue making lower lows and lower highs. We changed character and we switched up. Now we want to go bullish. That's a very strong indication of that. It's not guaranteed, but it's a very high probability that that's the next move. What do you think about 19,400 sells? I mean, anywhere from 2,000, anywhere from this high. Like if I draw the fib from this high to the lows, these lows here, right? And extend it out. We're technically like price already did that, right? We dropped and then it came back to like the 71, 786, and then sold off again, right? But at the same time, you have to understand that price is also in a bullish uptrend as well. So if I draw the fib from the lows to these highs here and then extend it out, we tapped into the 50% 618. Is my mic better? You said it was a little bit laggy. Is that better? Let me know in the chat if you guys can hear me. It sounds good. Let me know. Let me know. Let me know. Okay, bet. Thanks for letting me know, brother. But yeah. So like I said before, let me start over. Right? If you draw the fib from the highs to the lows, yeah, if you draw the fibs from the highs here, the all-time highs, all the way to the most recent lows on the daily chart, and then extend it out to the right so you can see the numbers, we see that price sold off, okay, and then it retraced back 70% of all the sellers' profits. It came back 70%, right? And then it sold off a little bit more. But we have to understand that selling on indices, you're counter trend trading. So you can't just go off that. You have to draw the fib for the buys as well. So if you look at, these lows to the most recent highs, same thing. Price did come pretty deep into the buy zone. It came around the 50% 618 and continued to go higher. So, if you have those zones marked up, someone said, what do you think about 19,400? All those work. All those work. It's all possible. You can definitely sell, but at the same time, you got to be cautious. Okay, like I'm selling, but you have to understand that you're going against the overall trend. So you're going to have to exercise a little bit better risk management because price can reverse on you at any second. At any second. Good morning, Juan. What's up, Raj? Perfect, perfect. And so once we got that change of character, that confirmed to me that we wanted to go higher. And every time we get a change of character, always expect price to retrace, right? We have the consolidation, all this consolidation from this low to this high consolidation. We sweep the lows, break above the highs right here, and price did retrace heavily, but that's fine. That's fine. That's normal. Again, like once you have your fib from the lows to the highs, that was a very normal retracement. Nothing to be scared about. People were saying, "Oh, the market is crap. We lost $20 trillion, whatever, bro." What does a Fibonacci say? That's a normal retracement. I don't want to hear it. All these scare tactics on the news. Oh, 20 trillion lost in 2 days. Like, bruh, that was a normal retracement on the Fib. Relax, right? And then to give me even more confidence that price wants to go higher, because look, Hollywood, you're absolutely right. If price doesn't break above these highs here, we're still going to sell off, unfortunately, right? If we don't break above these highs, then the sell setup that's here, right? We have the consolidation, got the sweep, change character to the, or will continue to break structure to the downside. And then now we're here in an area where price could potentially sell off, right? I just need to see another setup. I need to see another sell setup here to confirm that it's valid. But we haven't seen that yet. All we've seen is lots of inverteds to the upside. But once this happens here, once I get that consolidation, sweep, break above, oh yeah. And then price comes back down again. I'm getting in, waiting for that next setup. Boom. Going crazy. Right? The reason why I got into these buys down here, literally this morning at like 5:30, I was getting out the shower, getting ready, and I saw a setup and I was like, dang, like it's already high. Like, I don't want to get in. I saw this right here. Let me go to lower time frame. It looks better on the 30-minute, but I saw this here. I saw a low right here, the high. We swept the lows, and then price was all the way like up here. And I was like, dang, like it's already up here. I'm not gonna FOMO in. And then 5:30 comes on with the news, and the price immediately drops like right here. I'm like, oh, so I couldn't resist. Like it was too clean. I got in, and news happens so fast. I didn't even really have time to send this in. But in my mind, I'm like, you know what? I'm sure they see the setup. I'm sure they're awake, excited to be on the call. They got that. But if not, it's all good. This is only the first little trade we got going on. For those of you who don't know what's going on here, we're doing $100 swing challenge. Most people on the team, they deposited $100 into their live accounts just so everyone can participate. And then we're just gonna swing trade together live. Every day, but Wednesday live. So I'll mark this up. This is the reasoning as to why we got into this one. Right, we had the high, the low, right here that were swept, stop loss, right there. So this is the setup. There it is. If you want to do solid trade management, you can put your entry at the break and retest. Anything from the break and retest and to the stop loss is a valid entry. The rules for this is you can only use 0.01s. You can only enter 3 times per setup per time frame, because as we all know, the setup that we find occurs on every time frame. The market is fractal, so anything you see on the 1 minute, you see on the 1 month, and vice versa. So it's very fractal. And what else did I say? No FOMO trades. So like your entries have to be within a setup. So if you send me your screenshot of your trade and it's not inside of a setup like this, in between the break and retest and the stop loss, if you don't have at least one entry inside of there and it's like up here somewhere, it's like, bro, that was obviously a FOMO trade. A lot of people send in their charts and they don't know, but me and Vinny can tell, like when people just FOMO'd in and didn't even get in for the setup. You just, oh, it's going up. Let me just get in. And trust me, that works sometimes. You may get lucky, but it's not consistent. And then you're building the wrong habits, So be careful of that. In the chats, I did drop this play down here because I was actually waiting for this. I was waiting for price because we had a nice setup here, consolidation, right? And then we swept the lows, broke above the highs, retested, and then took off. Like gone. Hasn't come back. Someone said, Hollywood said, how do you qualify for the levels chat? Yeah, so once you finish the 30, 60, 90-day boot camp, once you finish that on the Powerhouse website, once you finish the launch, you want to go ahead and speak to your mentor, whoever got you enrolled, and have them add you to the qualification chat. And then within that chat, you have to watch certain videos and then turn in a homework assignment. Once you do that, like me and Vinny have full confidence that you know how to find the setup, you know how to mark it up, and you know how to enter within it. So if you do that and you get checked off, then you should know, like you should be able to do this. This shouldn't be confusing. If it's confusing for you now, don't worry. You will eventually learn this once you finish the basics and the foundation. But it took me 4 years to understand this. Ladies and gentlemen, y'all are getting this information in your first couple months, in your first year. So there's really like no excuse at this point. And this is basic concepts, but when you learn trading, people want to make it hard and add all this crazy vocabulary, and they make it harder than it needs to be when it really doesn't. Like, you got to simplify trading. Like, trading should not be hard. It's annoying looking back, like, dang, why did I make it so hard? Why did all these people try to confuse me so much? But as far as right now, the market, New York session opens in 14 minutes. So there's not a setup currently as we speak. I believe this is probably the closest one we had. I was really aiming for this one, but it is, like we said, like we had trend line liquidity, but it never got swept. I'm aware of it, but just because we have liquidity doesn't mean it has to get touched. Like, just because you mark something up on your chart doesn't mean it has to go there. So I see liquidity here, but again, this is only the 1 hour time frame. Like, this is, compared to other time frames, this is probably insignificant. But we'll see. You never know. If 630 can come by and boom, clap all this and go right to the zone. That's fine. I don't care. I'll be solid. Better buys. Discounts. Because again, if I draw the fib from these lows to the highs, like these highs here before the spike up, price didn't even come down to like the 50%. Price didn't even come down here. But if I draw it to these highs, it did. Right? So maybe it already got what it needed. Right now, for everyone else, we're really just waiting for price to do this. Right? It consolidated, swept it. We're waiting for price to break above these highs. Once that happens, oh, it's for sure go mode. Like, that's 100% go mode. If you're not, if you don't have your account loaded with $100, I would do it. As soon as this happens, load it up. Minimum $100, right? I want to see all of us trading together, right? If you break above these highs on like the 4 hour, the daily, and then price decides to come back and retest, oh, I'm in there. I'm in there. Right at the retest. If it goes lower, that's fine. If you want more confirmation, let it retest with a setup. That's even better. That's even more confirmation. But either I'm getting in at the retest, first touch, or I'm letting it come deeper, like deeper into the zone, and then give me another setup anywhere. And then I'm going to load up like 10 more entries, like crazy. But I'll document all this, and I'll drop it in all the chats so we can do it together. All right, and I need y'all's help too. If you're in the chats, let me know. Like, if you see the setup, like, I need more people sending in more setups every day. Like, if I go to the 1 minute chart right now, I know there's a lot of scalpers on this call. Like, y'all should be sending in the most setups because y'all are scalping. Y'all are on the 1 minute chart. Like, y'all should be sending in one setup per day minimum. Even if it's the same one that someone else already sent, who cares? Drop it. Does that make sense? I know it kind of went kind of fast. Maybe I didn't even like stop to ask y'all questions. Like, was there any point in time where I was explaining something and it did not make sense? I'm willing to explain it again in more depth. I'm looking here. Yeah, this is ugly on the 1 minute, but it still counts. If you count all this consolidation, right, and then we sweep those lows, sweep all this, and then we break above these highs. So technically, like if price comes back down into the same consolidation area, we can take that up for a continuation. That's still a setup, still valid. I'm just gonna mark up the high right here. So this is still valid. If price ever came back down here, you can enter there exactly at the touch or wait for your setup again somewhere inside. So we're waiting for that too. We can do this. Right? Stop loss would be the wick, of course, down here. That would be the wick stop loss if need be for the visual learners, but I'm just going to take it off. Don't want too many lines on my chart. But if this is making sense, let me know. Like drop some like fire emojis in the chat. This is making sense. If it's not making sense, drop some question marks. I can go explain more. We have 10 more minutes until the market officially opens. But let me go back to here. Oh yeah, this is what I was looking at last night. This is exactly the setup I was looking at. We never made it down here, but we did come into this imbalance. We had this 30-minute imbalance right here. For those of you who don't know what an imbalance is, it's just a gap in the market where buyers and sellers never really got a chance. But we had this nice imbalance here, or fair value gap, whatever the kids are calling it these days. Price came right into there and then reversed. And if that wasn't enough, we also had a starting point or an order block right here. This last selling candle before the up push. And what happened? Very clean mitigation off of that. Clean entry with the news, 5:30 a.m. PST. Price came right back into this starting point or order block, mitigated right there, and then flew off. Yeah, so Fernando, what we said was for the rules are you can only do 3 entries per setup per time frame. So like this, to me, this was a 30-minute setup. But if I find one on the 1 minute up in here, I can do another 3. It's really up to you. And also depends on your margin level. Right here, the margin is we've only used 1.08% of the margin. So we're like very low, so it doesn't really matter how many you use. You can use like 100 of these and you would still be within your limits. It's really up to you. But I just set the limit to 3 per setup, so you're not going crazy with it, and then your phone lags. But let me just show you how I typically like to do the entries. Like if, for instance, if this is the setup, let's say this is the setup here. Boom, boom. I'm immediately marking up the high right there, and I'm immediately marking up the lows. And then when price comes back into the zone, right? Once price comes back into the zone, I'm looking for buys at the very top, first touch, stop loss here at the wick, right? I'm looking for a buy there. And then I'm looking for a buy like somewhere in the middle, 50%, and then at the very bottom, same stop loss. Now you have 3 entries in the same zone. You have one at the break and retest, right? One at the very top, one at the 50%, and then one at the bottom. It doesn't have to be exactly like this, but just you can do one. You don't have to do 3. You can do whatever you want. I just do 3 because it's a very low lot size. And let's say I want to take profit. I want to take profit with 2 of them and then let one ride out. So I at least collect something. But then since I have one still riding out, I'm not getting FOMO and like, oh, I need to be in the market. I got out. I should have held that. It flew 1,000 pips. I should have just held it. But if you have 3 entries, you're not going to feel that way because you already took profit with 2 entries and the other one is still writing. So you're not going to have that feeling of, damn, I should have, what if I held it? What if this? What if that? Like, no, because you're still holding one. That's how I do it for myself, just for my own psychology, because that would happen to me a lot. I would get in, do my 1 to 3, and then with NAS and indices, that thing would be flying. I'm like, damn, like I got out at 50 pips, but it flew 500. Damn. Imagine I just held one position. And then if you're holding that position, let's say you're up $50, when you take the next trade, even if you lose it, it don't matter because you're still up $50 from the last one. So you can use the profits or the floating profits from the previous trade to give you more confidence and more cushion to take the next one. So even if you lose, you're not going to be too hurt because you still have that fat chunk of change in your account floating. That's why I do multiple positions. But again, people are different. People will just take one. Maybe they want to do just one. That's fine. Go ahead. Do you. But this is a very particular area that we're in. I know this is we're coming into a heavy possibility of sells, right? We have a lot of consolidation in here, right? Lots of consolidation. And then we do sweep the highs, sweep the liquidity, and then we immediately change character or break structure to the downside. So now that we've worked our way back up, price could easily, give us some type of consolidation, sweep highs, and sell off again. But until I see this particular setup, then I'm not going to be worried because all I see is buy setups in here. I don't see any selling opportunities. I don't see any of this. I don't even see like lower lows and lower highs. None of that. So for me, this is giving higher highs and higher lows. So yeah, we're in the sell area, but if we're in the sell area and leading up to it, we're getting higher highs and higher lows. That doesn't give me the confidence that this area is actually solid. Because if it was, we wouldn't be getting this. We'd be getting this, right? But maybe it's not happening yet. Maybe price wants to go higher and then give us the sell. We don't know. But until I see it, I don't want to make assumptions and try to speculate and like, yeah, it has to do this and it's going to do that. I don't know. But what I do know is the structure doesn't lie. Structure does not lie, especially on the higher time frames. Structure was very concrete evidence. It's black and white. If you see it, you see it. If you don't, you don't. That's why I like structures so much because it takes away the guessing. And when I first started trading, I'm like, oh, I feel like it's gonna go down. It's in this area. I see an order block. I feel like it has to. I don't like that. I don't like uncertainty, especially in the markets. And I'm not saying you're always gonna be 100% certain, but to raise that level of certainty, if you look at the market structure, that let's say you were only 10% certain, now you're gonna be like 60, 70, 80% certain. It's like, okay, like I'm pretty sure that if this happens, then that's gonna happen. If this happens, then that's gonna happen. That's how it goes, really, when it comes to this. And we have a minute left until we see what's going on. We are at a very particular area. If you look left here, we do have an order block, right? We have this last up candle before the aggressive sell off, and we are in here right now. Price is in here. If you look at this dotted line here next to the current price 18,775, that dotted line is current price. If you match it to what's happening here, we're inside of this order block. So we'll see what is price gonna do. Again, I don't mind it dropping lower to come into, I marked it up here, this high. So then y'all can get in. everyone else can get in. So if price decides to drop in here, that's good. I wanted to drop in here and go crazy. Only thing I can say is disclaimer. This, since we are waiting for price to break above these highs here, right, we really want to see price break above these highs. So until then, I'll have to say disclaimer. This is risky buys. Because we're not only are we buying in an area where price could sell off, but we're also haven't really gotten a more solid confirmation with breaking above this level. But we are uptrending, so we'll see what they want to do. 630 officially. Price working its way back down. Ooh, hey, y'all might be able to get in this. Facts. It's all risky. It's all risky. Boom. It's in there. So for those of you who didn't enter earlier, it's back in there. Well, tapped it again. If you don't know what this is it's not the best looking setup, but technically it is like consolidation, right? That, and then we sweep the lows, break above. Now we're retesting on that break and retest. So me personally, I like to enter off the first touch of the break and retest. And if it goes deeper, that's fine. I'll wait for more setups in between. Boom. Either or. Yeah, neckline entry. The reason why is because sometimes this will happen. It'll come in there and just go. And as we see here, it wasn't just a break and retest. We also filled this imbalance. We had an imbalance here with these candles. So it was a break and retest, neckline entry, plus it filled some of this imbalance. So it makes sense why price reacted the way it did. Is it going to hold? We don't know. If price does come back down, great. Mike Nav is bullish on Nas. Let's go. Let's go. I like that. I like it when me and Mike are in synchronicity. I love it. And then for the other people who are like, nah, man, I see this right here. This is potentially, but it's the 1 minute chart. This is a 1 minute selling opportunity, but I'm not gonna really look at that. It's the 1 minute chart, counter trend. We'll see. We shall see. But let me see. Are we gonna go deeper in there? Talk to me. Let me know. What is US 30 up to? Golly, US 30. I just see this massive black selling candles. Nasty. Sheesh. That was treacherous. Let me see the 4-hour real quick. Yeah, US 30, we definitely need to break above these highs. You saw that? I was like, golly. Gosh. US 30 is coming to this area though. It's like the last potential buy in this range. Let me delete this. Consolidation. Swept the lows, broke above the highs, retested once here. Now we're back. So we'll see if we continue or this area gets clapped. Stop loss to be right there for this structure, for this setup. Reason why it's, we didn't break above these highs either. Like after this setup occurred, that should have allowed us to break above these highs, but we didn't. So to me, that's a red flag. We just wicked it, sold off again, back into the buy zone. We came here, we wasn't enough momentum or liquidity to take us above these highs. Let me see. And then SPX, similar. We need to break above these highs, man. That's gonna be like the real confirmation. The real confirmation. And if you go lower, that's fine. There's more buy opportunities like down here as well. Like if you're looking at this consolidation, swept it, broke above, continued. It's like a sideways, it's like a diagonal inverted. It's going diagonally. Same thing though. So we'll see. Shall see. So with Nas real quick. It's back in there. It's back in there. So if you didn't, or maybe if you want to wait, you can also wait. It's up to you. But to me, I like it. It looks good. Got to shoot your shot. Shoot your shot. So the best thing that we can do now, since now it's back in the zone, just wait for more confirmation. Right. So what that looks like here, I'll do it live in action. That means now we need to break above these highs. We need to change a character above these highs because now we just swept this low. We're going deeper. So we need to break above these highs. To confirm, if I'm looking left over here, I'm just examining, okay, if we have any imbalances, if we have any other setups on the left side that can help price continue bullish. What's up? Is there some backup? We got some backup or what? And then let me check on the dollar. Dollar. It was 30 buys. Let me see. Yeah, I mean, it could be. Definitely could be. I'm definitely waiting on that. This change of character here. That's going to confirm it for us for sure. Because again, we got the low, the high. We swept it. We need that break above. Right there. That's what we need. So yeah, you can buy here because we are in a buy zone from the left. If you look left, we are technically in it. That's the neckline. This is going to be like the shoulder right there, right at the weekly open. So again, we have consolidation, sweep, break above for here. It's in there. And if I'm looking close, if I'm looking real close, I can see that the current price is inside of this imbalance. And there was also a starting point here. So that's a valid reason as to why price just reacted the way that it did. It just reacted off of this smart money entry, super sniper. I like that a lot. There's also a gap in here as well. So we'll see what they want to do with that. We'll see what they want to do with that. Do they want to uphold this area? We don't know. I know we're waiting for the change of character up here, but maybe it wants to give us one here as well. Definitely could get one here as well. If you break above these highs, that counts. Because we did just sweep these lows right there, this low here. Stop loss would be here this wick. So technically, like this is a little mini setup on the 1 minute. So if you in the next 10 seconds, if you close above this, that can be a super sniper. Well, it is still 40 pips, even on the 1 minute. 40 pip risk if we're using the neckline and below. But we still didn't get the break above. We only got the wick. So make sure you look out for that. Make sure it's always a full body candle. If it's not, then you're probably gonna get clapped. Gotta wait for the confirmation. And if you don't get the break above, then more than likely price will go lower. Let me see, what is Nas up to? Nas is looking better. Definitely a lot better. SPX still struggling. Same thing though. Same thing on all three. You need to break above these highs to confirm it. Stop loss would be this lowest wick that's clapped, and then you would need this low as well. Let me just delete all this because now it's new parameters. Now we need this high. This is the new sweep, right? It came to this low, that high. We just swept it even more. So the more it does it, you gotta just adjust it. Let me see what they're doing up here. Yeah, same thing with Nas. Nas came a little bit lower. Let me see. Nas approaching the zone. It's coming. I mean, yeah, it's already it's here. It's here. You know, if you look at the charts, especially the line chart, you see it. You see several inverteds. Boom, boom. See a little mini one there. Boom, gone. It's just all over. All this. All that. But we're in there. We are in there. Yep. So if we're just readjusting, we need this one too. I'm just going to take off the words. You guys should know it by now. Yep. Same thing. Boom, boom, sweep, break. Okay, it's pushing. It's doing this thing. What is US 30 up to? Similar. So let me just readjust all this just so it makes sense. Now we're looking at this high here. You need that, change of character. Okay, and then this low came before this high. And then we would need, this would be the stop loss. But I typically don't draw the whole setup every time. I typically only draw the change of character that's needed to happen, right? I only typically draw what needs to happen. So I really don't even draw this, but I'm just showing you guys what it will look like full spectrum. But this is really what we're waiting for. Like everything else doesn't really matter unless we break above here. We need that. We need price to break above these highs before we take the trade. So we're not just guessing and getting in off of, I have a feeling, I have a dream. Like we don't know. We have no idea. You have no idea. So if that doesn't happen, boom, still gonna go lower. Still gonna go lower. And that's why on Nas, I really want to see. Let me just take all this off. The less lines, the better. And that's gonna really lock it in. Because again, even if I look at the 4-hour moving average, right? This is the 900 and 800 moving average. This black line here for all this time since even before this blue line here is the beginning of the year. We've been respecting this since before the beginning of the year, and we're right on it. So to me, if I even go back more in time, this is transition from the previous all-time highs. This is the previous all-time highs here, and before that all-time high, look at this, respecting it. This was the pandemic right here. Broke below it just a little bit. Boom, went crazy the entire time. And then we went below it a little bit. But then, going to the daily chart, it's a little bit different. Again, here's the pandemic. Gone. Came back, played around, gave a nice inverted couple times. Gone. Broke above the all-time highs. Gave a nice inverted setup right at the all-time high previous. Gone. Did you drop a chart I don't see it in the. I don't think YouTube allows you to share like charts, which is crazy to me. Like YouTube has to talk to Zoom and get on like the same page because like how is Zoom better than you when it comes to this stuff? Like YouTube's been around for longer. Like what are you doing? Get it together. But yeah, it did not show up in the chat. So as of now, price is just I'm just waiting for price to give us more confirmation. I don't want to say do this or do that until we get the breaks. So this is US 30. We're waiting for this one. NAS, we're waiting for this one here. And then SPX, same thing. Same thing. And then let me look at gold real quick. Okay, gold looks nice. It's moving up. This is the 1 minute chart though. We're still above the previous all-time highs here. Still trading above that. So I mean, look, if we're going just off basics, right? We have, high, higher low, higher high, higher low. Like this is basic structure. Anytime you break above highs, you it's pretty planned to go higher. If I draw a line here at every previous all-time highs, drag it out. Right? Previous time highs, drag it out. So that's typically how price goes. If you break highs, you retest it, continue. Break the highs, retest it, continue. And that's essentially what's happening here. We broke these highs, or we tried it once, couldn't do it. Finally broke it, came down a little bit more, still above it. So unless we get like some crazy, drop beneath like all this, okay. And then we come back retest, okay, cool. I'm selling. But until that, like there's no reason, It's kind of hard for me to believe that. Even if price did this, let's say price did this, high, low, this, and then price drops like all the way here, but we still maintain above these lows right here, I'm still buying. I don't care that it dropped and cleared this one and maybe cleared this one, but we have these down here, still good. Taking that. Either or. Sent it to the Texas Powerhouse chat. Let me check on that real quick. Let me just go back to the 5 minute. It's giving us that discount. So price is essentially coming back to where I entered in before the call. Let me go to the chat real quick. It's crazy it doesn't show for you guys. Let me check this chart. Dang, Texas chat is popping. Are you looking at Euro CHF? It looks good. It's in a nice zone, if that's what you're looking at. Yeah. Yeah, if that's what you're looking at, I see it here. It looks good. I would take those. It's a 4-hour chart, super solid. Yeah, clean. Bitcoin retested 58,000, then corrected to 56,000. Let me see. What's up, Lunch Money Millionaires? I see you on here. Retested 58. Go to the higher time frames. What is this box? Okay. Yeah, right now Bitcoin's inside of this huge imbalance on the monthly. It's a monthly imbalance, so it's been playing very nicely, nice reactions, really respecting it. As far as how high it can go, I definitely want to see Bitcoin break above, 73. I want to see it break above here just to let us know that price really does want to go higher, but that's still like it's pretty far away. It's about $17,000 away. And if you go to the weekly, we have a nice starting point here or an order block. Price has been really respecting it. So that's good. We're just looking for more confirmation. So looking at the daily chart now, if we break above these highs here, or even this one here, the first one, that's gonna let us know that we want to go higher. So as far as how high it can go, Bitcoin is projected to go to six figures like soon. So gotta load up now. Lows, consolidation, we swept it. If you get that break above, yeah, I'm stacking right there. But if you don't get that, then we can go definitely go lower. Maybe to some other entries from the left. You don't know. But all this whole box here, that's the monthly. This is the monthly imbalance. We're in there. I was actually waiting for Bitcoin to come down here. I wanted Bitcoin to come down here because we have a nice setup. I don't think we mitigated it. A nice little setup here. At the yearly open, at the beginning of the year, price did this. Boom, boom, sweep the lows, gone. So if price decides to come all the way back down here, like 42, then I'm really gonna be in there. But we'll see. We'll see what happens inside of the zone. As long as these lows hold up, as long as we don't break these lows, we're still good. As long as price stays above these lows, then it'll go higher. If we break beneath these lows, then I'm definitely looking. The quality of the screen is bugging. I don't know how to fix that. Maybe like refresh it on your end. Is that for everybody or just you two? Let me know when you refresh it. Is it still giving the same type of energy? Still laggy, still buggy? Let me know. You tried to, it didn't work. I need more information. Still the same. All right, I guess that's a sign for me to get off. But that's pretty much it. Price came back to the buy zone. Do what you want with that. So I'll let you all go. But let's get it. Stay blessed.